On the evening of October 21, 2024, in Brookfield, Wisconsin, a tense incident occurred following the conclusion of Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign event. As she was traveling to the airport to continue her official trip, her motorcade, consisting of 29 vehicles, unexpectedly encountered a dangerous situation that raised concerns and heightened tension. Specifically, while traveling on the I-94 highway, a vehicle suddenly swerved into the motorcade, driving in the wrong direction, and came within a few feet of the convoy, creating a near head-on collision. This event not only caused panic among those in the motorcade, but also raised significant concerns about the safety of the Vice President and her security detail. In such a particular situation, where Vice President Kamala Harris and her security team were traveling, the severity of the incident was amplified, not only due to the need to protect an important political figure, but also because it reflected the potential risks posed by sudden and unpredictable traffic situations. This was not a mere traffic violation, but rather a scenario that could have led to serious consequences, threatening the lives and safety of many, particularly in the context of high-ranking officials who are always targets of potential threats. The act of a vehicle driving in the wrong direction on the I-94 highway, a busy road with high-speed traffic, was incredibly reckless and could have led to a serious accident in an instant. This situation was not only dangerous for the offending driver, but also for all other vehicles and passengers on the road. A momentary lapse in judgment, an unexpected collision, could have triggered a chain of catastrophic events, affecting many people and even causing severe damage to lives and property. The actions of the offending driver in this case were not only a blatant disregard for the law, but also a significant threat to the safety of everyone on the road, especially when the motorcade carrying the Vice President was constantly exposed to such potential dangers from reckless and thoughtless behavior. This incident attracted significant attention from law enforcement and security agencies, whose primary responsibility is to ensure the safety of high-ranking officials. Given the potentially escalating danger of such a situation, the prompt and effective intervention by security personnel was crucial. They had to not only protect the Vice President and her entourage, but also prevent the recurrence of similar situations, events that could result in unpredictable threats. Handling this situation swiftly was not just a simple task, but a significant responsibility, requiring close coordination and timely responses to ensure the safety of those in a motorcade and to guarantee that no serious accidents occurred. It is also important to emphasize that the danger of this situation was not only due to the wrong-way driving, but also the complexity of ensuring the safety of political figures in a context where traffic always presents unpredictable elements. Security agencies not only had to deal with the risk posed by traffic violations, but also had to consider other factors such as potential targeted threats against high-ranking officials. Therefore, the seamless coordination between security forces, traffic police, and relevant authorities is essential to ensure the protection of both political figures and the general public. From this event, it is evident that protecting the safety of high-ranking political figures is a complex task that is always accompanied by unpredictable risks. However, with the professionalism and effectiveness of law enforcement, the timely intervention helped prevent a potential disaster and underscored the importance of reinforcing preventive measures and ensuring road safety during critical political events. This incident was not just an ordinary traffic situation. It also delivered a profound message about the need for stricter security measures during the travels of high-ranking officials, particularly influential figures like Vice President Kamala Harris. When an event like this occurs, with the potential risks arising from reckless and thoughtless actions on the road, it highlights an undeniable fact. The safety of high-ranking officials depends not only on individual preventive measures but also on the effective coordination between various authorities. The clear warning from this event is the need for stricter and more comprehensive security measures, particularly in situations involving high-ranking political figures. Facing threats not only from reckless driving but also from potential security risks in crowded and chaotic traffic environments, ensuring the safety of these figures requires a complex and timely protection strategy. Every element, from ensuring road safety to implementing direct security measures, must be carefully calculated to minimize any risks. The importance of close cooperation between law enforcement and security agencies is even more evident in the context of increasing threats from reckless behavior on the roads. This incident not only reflects an individual's irresponsibility but also indicates that dangerous traffic situations can escalate into serious threats, not only to road users but also to protected political figures during political trips. Therefore, effective and seamless cooperation between the various authorities is crucial in preventing similar situations from occurring in the future, ensuring the maximum safety of high-ranking officials and the public. Furthermore, this serves as a reminder about the need to enhance community education regarding the dangers of drunk driving and other reckless behaviors on the road. Every thoughtless action not only threatens the driver but can also endanger the safety of those around them, especially during important political events. Therefore, combining awareness campaigns and implementing stricter security measures is essential to protect the safety of everyone on the road. At this critical moment, as the motorcade escorting Vice President Kamala Harris was traveling on the I-94 highway, an unexpected dangerous situation unfolded, causing extreme tension and concern not only among the motorcade members but also among the law enforcement and the public. The motorcade, consisting of 29 vehicles, was moving through a crowded stretch of highway, where traffic flow is typically dense, at high speed, with tight security provided by the police. Each vehicle in the motorcade had a crucial task: to protect the Vice President's safety and ensure the smooth progress of the trip, while preventing any potential threats that could disrupt the mission. However, an unforeseen incident occurred. A vehicle, for reasons unclear, suddenly swerved into the opposite lane, just feet away from the motorcade, creating an extremely tense and dangerous situation. The actions of this vehicle not only caused panic among the motorcade, but also posed a potential risk to the lives of many, including the Vice President and her security detail, as well as other drivers and passengers on the road. A vehicle driving in the opposite direction on a busy highway at high speed is an extremely reckless act, as even the smallest misstep could result in a serious accident, threatening not only the safety of the motorcade but also causing potentially catastrophic consequences for other road users. This event was not just a routine traffic incident but a serious threat to the safety of a top political figure and her entourage. It was a situation where the level of danger could not be underestimated, as a collision in this context would not only disrupt the work of the authorities but also potentially lead to grave consequences for national security and the public. The occurrence of such an event was not just a reminder of the potential instability in traffic, but also a clear demonstration of the importance of strict security measures during trips of high-ranking officials, especially when these events involve the presence of important political figures who attract heightened attention and protection from authorities. In this high-tension moment, the danger not only stemmed from the vehicle traveling in the wrong direction, but also from the lack of awareness and delayed reactions from other drivers. This already tense situation became even more complicated as vehicles in the Vice President's motorcade, although well-trained and prepared, had to face an unforeseen threat. Escort motorcades, which frequently deal with high-risk situations, always maintain a safe distance and maximum vigilance to respond promptly to any emergency. However, the appearance of a vehicle going the wrong way on a crowded highway was not only a serious violation but also an unimaginable challenge for the drivers in the motorcade. In this context, the preparation and response of the motorcade drivers became extremely important. Although they are extensively trained to handle emergency situations, such as collisions or safety threats, an unpredictable scenario like this placed them in a very difficult situation. Maintaining a safe distance is essential to prevent collisions, but when faced with a vehicle traveling the wrong way, all calculations about distance and speed become irrelevant. The motorcade was forced to contend with the uncertainty of how other vehicles on the road would react, as well as carefully consider preventive measures to avoid a serious accident. This situation highlighted an important issue in traffic: the necessity of coordinated action between vehicles and law enforcement agencies to ensure absolute safety. While the motorcade drivers could respond quickly to minimize damage, the lack of awareness or slow reactions from other drivers on the road could create a huge danger. These factors not only relate to the protection of an important individual like the Vice President, but also affect the safety of all road users, demonstrating the complexity and danger of traffic situations during critical trips involving political figures. Immediately, a Milwaukee County police officer, thanks to his keen observation and quick response, recognized the imminent danger and acted decisively. In a moment full of tension and danger, His quick thinking helped identify the vehicle traveling the wrong way and initiated an immediate stop. This action not only halted the violating vehicle but also served as a critical intervention, preventing a potential disaster and protecting the lives of motorcade members and averting a major collision that could have caused significant harm to others nearby. The swift intervention by the police, with such precision and decisiveness, not only reflected the professionalism and excellent skills of the law enforcement officers but also underscored the importance of being equipped with the proper training and techniques for handling emergency situations. In events involving important political figures, such as Vice President Kamala Harris, every moment can determine the safety of thousands of people, including ordinary citizens and security personnel. Therefore, the ability to recognize and address dangers right from the start helped avert a potential catastrophe in an instant. The decisive action of the police officer was not only a confirmation of the preparedness of law enforcement, but also a lesson in how to handle sudden traffic situations, where a lack of vigilance or delayed reactions can lead to unpredictable consequences. This highlights the need for proper preparation, from training law enforcement officers to ensuring they are fully equipped with the tools and skills necessary to ensure safety during emergencies, especially when the lives of high-ranking officials and the public are directly threatened. This incident not only caused a wave of anxiety and tension within the motorcade escorting Vice President Kamala Harris, but also drew strong attention from the community and authorities. Particularly when a high-ranking political figure like the Vice President is on the move, her safety and the safety of her entourage become the top priority. This not only reflects the importance of protecting political figures, but also highlights the potential risks in road traffic that we often overlook. The sight of a vehicle suddenly swerving into the wrong lane on the I-94 highway not only caused stress for those involved in the motorcade, but also raised serious questions about how to prevent such emergency situations. This was not just a regular traffic incident, but a threat that could have had catastrophic consequences if not handled promptly and effectively. Events like these highlight the need for strict and comprehensive security measures during events involving high-ranking political leaders. In addition to protecting political figures, this incident also serves as a warning about the increasing dangers on the road, where reckless driving and failure to adhere to traffic rules can cause significant disruption in the traffic system and pose threats to everyone's lives, not just public officials. The coordinated and decisive response between law enforcement, traffic police, and security units is a key factor in ensuring the safety of everyone on the road. From a broader perspective, this incident underscores the importance of strengthening preventive measures, from educating the public on traffic safety to employing modern technology for monitoring and verifying driver behavior. Especially in situations involving senior officials, comprehensive protection strategies must be implemented to prevent any potential risks. This event serves as both a reminder of the importance of protecting officials and a wake-up call about the hidden dangers in traffic that everyone must be aware of and actively prevent. At the same time, this incident not only attracted the attention of the police, but also the security agencies responsible for protecting Vice President Kamala Harris. In this context, the safety of both the police officers and Wacker, as well as the lives of the Vice President and her entire entourage, were seriously threatened. When a vehicle driving in the wrong direction nearly caused a collision with a motorcade, the risk of a major incident was inevitable without timely intervention. Therefore, not only the police forces but also the security agencies protecting the Vice President had to closely monitor this situation to ensure the safety of an important national figure. The severity of the situation required swift and decisive action from the authorities, including conducting alcohol breath tests and ensuring the absolute safety of the Vice President throughout the entire journey. All of these factors highlighted the level of tension and danger this incident posed, while also reflecting the close cooperation between the police and security agencies in responding to the direct threat to the lives of key figures. After clearly noticing signs of impaired driving, the police did not hesitate and immediately ordered Wacker to undergo a series of alcohol and physical tests. These tests were not only meant to verify Wacker's condition but also helped assess the degree of alcohol's effect on his ability to operate the vehicle, thereby ensuring the safety of other road users and preventing potential dangerous situations. The tests required Wacker to walk in a straight line, maintain balance, and blow into a breathalyzer to precisely determine the alcohol content in his body. The balance and walking tests were not just simple physical tasks, but had an important purpose in assessing the driver's ability to control their body. In situations of driving under the influence, the ability to maintain balance and move steadily along a stretch of road is crucial, as even a slight loss of control can lead to an accident. Asking Wacker to walk in a straight line and maintain balance was intended to assess his body's stability, thereby determining whether he was capable of continuing to drive the vehicle. These challenges helped the officers accurately determine the level of danger posed by driving under the influence of alcohol and make appropriate decisions. The breathalyzer test was an essential part of the process. It is the most accurate method to determine the alcohol level in a driver's body, providing a solid scientific basis to prove the effect of alcohol on Wacker's driving ability. The combination of physical tests and the breathalyzer results enabled the police to make an accurate decision regarding the driver's condition, while ensuring the safety of all vehicles and road users. The result from the breathalyzer showed an alarming and extremely clear number. Wayne Wacker's blood alcohol content, BAC, was 0.252, a level 3 times the maximum legal limit of 0.08 in Wisconsin. This BAC not only exceeded the legal limit, but also indicated that Wacker was heavily intoxicated, to the point where he could lose complete control physically and mentally. This was a clear sign that he was not fit to operate a vehicle safely, which explained his abnormal behavior on the road. A BAC of 0.252 indicated that Wacker was not only distracted, but may have suffered significant impairment in his reflexes and decision-making ability. In fact, such a high alcohol level could slow the body's reactions and impair coordination, increasing the risk of an accident not only for Wacker but also for other road users. His lack of control on the road, especially when driving against traffic, further reinforced the conclusion that he had lost the ability to assess the situation and make the right decisions. This is a clear example of the danger of driving under the influence, not only for the driver but also for those around them. The police quickly recognized the danger and acted in time to prevent a potential disaster, but the breathalyzer results further emphasized the seriousness of this situation. Wacker's BAC level far exceeded the legal limit, creating an incredibly tense situation that needed to be handled with great care, especially considering the motorcade of Vice President Kamala Harris was nearby. However, during the testing process and exchanges with the police, Wayne Wacker exhibited a noticeable state of confusion, along with a sense of embarrassment that was impossible to hide. It seemed he was completely disoriented and couldn't recall any details of the events that occurred before being stopped. Specifically, Wacker couldn't explain how he had ended up on I-94, nor was he aware that he was driving against traffic, just feet away from Vice President Kamala Harris's motorcade and almost causing a serious collision. His strange explanations and lack of alertness further clarified the extent of his intoxication. The inability to remember prior events is a clear sign that Wacker had lost his ability to perceive and analyze situations due to the effects of alcohol. While driving, the ability to be aware of one's surroundings, including observing and assessing traffic situations, is crucial to ensuring safety. However, his drunken state severely impaired this ability, making it impossible for him to understand the danger he was causing, especially when he had been driving the wrong way on the freeway, an action that could have led to a deadly accident. Wacker's confusion and awkwardness during the exchange with the police not only reflected his unstable mental state, but also highlighted a bigger issue about the lack of control of drivers under the influence of alcohol. As the police were conducting tests to determine the level of alcohol influence, Wacker's abnormal reactions further demonstrated that he had lost the ability to control himself and assess traffic situations accurately. This further confirmed that driving while intoxicated is not only dangerous to the driver, but also threatens the lives of others on the road, as seen in the close call with the Vice President's motorcade. When the police asked Wayne Wacker about the event involving Vice President Kamala Harris, a highly significant event given her campaign, Wacker seemed completely unaware of her visit to Milwaukee at that time. He even claimed that he had no intention of harming the Vice President or anyone involved in her campaign. However, Wacker's naive explanation only highlighted a serious fact. He had no awareness of the dangerous nature of his actions and the impact they had on the safety of those around him, including Vice President Kamala Harris. Although Wacker may not have intended to harm anyone directly, His act of driving while intoxicated and going the wrong way on I-94 created an extremely dangerous situation, which could have led to a severe disaster. This situation not only threatened Wacker's life, but also posed a latent danger to the Vice President's motorcade and other road users. It reflected a clear lack of awareness about the seriousness of driving under the influence and the dangers it could pose to others. Wacker's explanation, when he claimed to know nothing about the Vice President or her campaign, indicated that he had completely lost his ability to remain alert and aware of his surroundings. His failure to understand the gravity of the situation and the consequences of driving while intoxicated is a clear demonstration of the potential dangers alcohol can cause by impairing judgment and control. This serves as a reminder of the importance of following traffic safety rules, especially in situations that could threaten the lives of those around us. Wayne Wacker's case is not just a dangerous incident, but also a focal point in his long and complex legal history. Wacker is not a first-time offender in cases related to driving under the influence. In fact, he has a prior conviction for drunk driving from 1998, showing that his behavior is not an isolated incident but part of a pattern of conduct previously identified. This incident shows that Wacker has faced serious legal consequences related to drunk driving in the past, and he was clearly aware of the risks and consequences of this behavior. However, it's important to note that despite his prior conviction, this incident is considered a new violation in the eyes of the law. After a lengthy period of 10 years since his previous offense, according to the law, Wacker's current case is treated as a first-time violation. This is an interesting aspect of the legal system, as it shows how recidivism rules can change over time. While Wacker had a previous drunk driving conviction, the length of time between the violations made this incident be treated as a first-time offense, rather than a repeat offense. This could lead to some leniency in the legal process and punishment, but it also raises questions about how the legal system evaluates recidivism, especially when there is a significant gap between offenses. However, even though this case is treated as a first-time offense legally, it still serves as a strong reminder of the dangers of drunk driving and the serious consequences it can bring. Wacker's continued offenses, despite having been aware of the consequences in the past, show that some individuals may not learn from their mistakes. Wacker's case also highlights the need for stronger measures to prevent drunk driving and clearly shows the necessity of abiding by the law to protect oneself and others. After being arrested, Wayne Wacker faces a series of serious charges, reflecting the danger he caused by driving under the influence. He was charged with reckless endangerment by dangerous driving, a charge that not only affirms the danger of his actions but also emphasizes the severity of driving a vehicle in an impaired state. Wacker's driving the wrong way on I-94, a busy and heavily trafficked road, created a direct danger not only to himself but also to other road users. This is reckless, irresponsible behavior that could have led to unpredictable consequences. In addition to this serious charge, Wacker faces traffic fines exceeding $2,700. This includes fines related to violations of traffic regulations and driving under the influence. These fines are a form of financial punishment, aimed at reminding Wacker of the severity of his actions and helping him become more aware of the impact of his behavior on society. These financial penalties not only serve as a deterrent for Wacker to avoid reoffending but also send a clear message that traffic violations, particularly driving under the influence, will cost not only one's safety but also money and legal consequences. However, besides the financial penalties, the charge of reckless endangerment by dangerous driving is the most serious one. This charge means that Wacker's actions could have resulted in serious injuries or fatalities, and that his behavior demonstrated a complete disregard for the safety of others on the road. Wacker will likely face serious consequences in court, with his past criminal history likely influencing the case's outcome. In terms of handling, Wayne Wacker was detained immediately after his arrest, and his bail was set at $15,000, a substantial amount that signifies the seriousness of the case. Determining such a high bail is not just a financial decision but a clear signal from the authorities about handling Wacker's actions with seriousness and caution. This bail amount reflects the gravity of the situation he caused, as his actions could have resulted in severe consequences for the safety and lives of others. Wacker's case is not just an ordinary traffic violation but involves a particularly dangerous element. His drunk driving, combined with driving against the flow of traffic on a busy highway, posed a threat not only to Wacker himself but also to all other road users. This situation became even more serious given that it occurred in the presence of Vice President Kamala Harris and her motorcade. Any incident in such a scenario could directly affect the lives of these important individuals and raise concerns about security at major political events. The high bail indicates that authorities view Wacker's actions not just as a simple violation but as an incident with the potential to endanger public safety. It also shows a firm approach to handling reckless driving, particularly when it may affect national security or high-ranking political figures. In fact, when the safety of politicians and their entourages is threatened, the response becomes even more stringent to prevent any actions that could cause harm. Moreover, this high bail underscores the importance of educating the public about the consequences of drunk driving. The application of this bail is not merely a punishment but also serves as a strong reminder about the need to obey traffic laws and ensure safety for oneself and others. Ultimately, Wacker's case is not just a traffic violation. It is a deeply alarming reminder of the serious risks that drunk driving poses. His actions raised concerns not only because of the dangerous nature of driving against traffic and under the influence but also due to the potential consequences for road safety, especially in a sensitive context involving important political figures. With Vice President Kamala Harris and her motorcade on the move, the presence of senior officials made the situation even more alarming. Such incidents could lead to security issues, chaos, and risks to the lives of those involved, from officials to security personnel. This incident highlights Wacker's severe lack of awareness as he drove under the influence, with a blood alcohol concentration 3 times above the legal limit, behaving irresponsibly on a busy highway. His actions not only endangered his own life but could have caused a catastrophic traffic accident if not intervened in time. The severity of the situation increases when viewed in the context of political events where the safety of high-ranking officials is prioritized. The safety of officials, especially the vice president and those in a motorcade, must be absolutely protected to ensure that no incident threatens their lives or security. In addition, this case serves as an important reminder of the need for vigilance and strict enforcement of preventive measures while on the road. It emphasizes the need to increase public education about the dangers of drunk driving, particularly when important political figures are involved. It's not only necessary to ensure one's own safety but also to consider the safety of others, including those participating in political events and national affairs. Wacker's actions serve as a wake-up call to everyone about the risks of driving while impaired and the responsibility each individual has toward their community and society. Wacker's actions are a prime example of irresponsibility and a lack of awareness in following traffic rules. This not only affects him but also endangers those around him, including participants in important events. Driving while drunk, especially while going against traffic on a busy highway, clearly shows a lack of care and consideration in Wacker's behavior. His failure to recognize the potential danger of this action could have led to serious consequences, not just for himself but also for innocent people, especially considering the presence of Vice President Kamala Harris and her motorcade. A situation like this not only threatens the safety of those involved but could also cause unforeseen consequences, from confusion among security forces to disruptions in critical political activities. This case also highlights the urgency of implementing stronger measures against drunk driving. Measures like breathalyzer checks at traffic control points and awareness campaigns about the dangers of drunk driving play an essential role in reducing traffic accidents. However, this case suggests that current preventive measures may not be sufficient to stop drunk driving, especially when the offender has a criminal record like Wacker. This further shows that his reoffending is not a one-time incident but a warning sign about the ineffectiveness of current education and punishment measures. In particular, at major events involving political figures such as Vice President Harris, safety must be the top priority. This case further clarifies the need for tighter prevention measures in situations where the safety of high-ranking officials is at risk. Wacker's repeated offenses, despite his criminal history, demonstrate that simply imposing fines or detaining him may not be enough to deter such dangerous behavior. More stringent and timely measures are required to prevent similar incidents in the future, protecting not only the lives of road users but also the safety of important individuals, especially during high-security events. In conclusion, Wacker's case is not only a lesson about the irresponsibility of traffic behavior, but also a reminder that more efforts are needed to build and enforce measures that protect the community, especially in situations that could affect the lives of political figures. Wacker's case is not just a simple traffic violation, but opens up a broader debate about personal responsibility and community awareness in ensuring road safety. An important aspect of this issue is Wacker's lack of awareness of the serious consequences of driving while drunk. Driving under the influence not only threatens the life of the driver, but also endangers those around them. Wacker's actions clearly show a lack of responsibility in understanding or caring about the level of danger he created, from driving recklessly to violating basic traffic rules. The important point is that every individual participating in traffic needs to be self-aware and clearly understand the impact of their actions. Drunk driving is not just an irresponsible act toward oneself, but also a threat to the safety of the community. In today's modern society, where traffic is increasingly complex and crowded, every action, no matter how small, can have unforeseen consequences. Therefore, raising awareness about road safety and the dangers of drunk driving is extremely important. This becomes even more urgent when we consider events involving political figures, who are not only influential but also potential targets of hidden dangers. Events involving high-ranking officials are always heavily protected by security forces, but that does not mean their safety is always guaranteed. Thus, driving while drunk poses a risk not only to the violator, but also to the safety of officials, security personnel, and other road users. Community awareness of protecting the safety of those around them, especially important figures, must be given the utmost attention. To prevent incidents like this, improvements need to be made in traffic control measures and community education on road safety. Awareness campaigns that highlight the dangers of drunk driving should be intensified, particularly for high-risk groups like repeat offenders. Additionally, authorities should increase monitoring and enforcement of traffic laws, especially at high-risk times and locations such as major political events. Moreover, applying stricter punishments for repeat offenders like Wacker is essential. Stronger enforcement measures not only serve as an effective deterrent, but also send a clear message to society that drunk driving will not be tolerated, especially when such behavior can endanger others' lives. Only by combining education, control, and punishment effectively can society hope to reduce serious traffic accidents and ensure safety for all. In conclusion, Wayne Wacker's case is not just a personal incident, but an important lesson in personal and community responsibility for road safety. While the safety of senior officials is particularly important, ensuring the safety of all road users is a collective responsibility. Raising public awareness of the dangers of drunk driving and enforcing strict traffic control measures are necessary steps to prevent unfortunate incidents like this. The lesson learned from Wayne Wacker's case is the importance of community awareness and personal responsibility in ensuring traffic safety. Driving under the influence and violating basic traffic rules not only endangers the driver's life, but also puts others at risk. This is especially critical in situations involving important figures, such as the Vice President, whose safety must be absolutely protected. This case serves as a powerful reminder of the serious consequences of drunk driving and the necessity of rigorously enforcing preventive measures and penalties for traffic violations to protect the lives and security of the community.